heal your anxious attachment style. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I wanted to create a video on this. I've actually never touched on this topic, but I feel like it's really important. Your relationship attachment style. I'm making this video for my anxious attachment girlies and how to go from anxious attachment to secure attachment when it comes to your relationships. You guys, it's so fun when you start to do inner work. Healing, I know, can get a bad rap because it's like, healing, that sounds like you're crying, like you're sad and all these things. Okay, you can laugh or you can cry. And when it comes to healing yourself, it's beautiful because you're going to be able to overcome negative patterns in your life. And that's the first thing that I want to share with you when it comes to your relationship attachment style. This is a pattern that you might have in your relationships, but don't identify with it. It's a pattern, not an identity. So you're able to heal, you're able to shift out of this. And most of us, see, if you don't check your ego, so many people probably feel like they have a secure attachment in relationships. What's your attachment style? Oh, I'm secure for sure. But I'm going to give you 5 examples of an anxious attachment style. And I want to remind you guys that I'm not a therapist. I'm just coming to you with real life examples, personal things I've been through or that I've seen in my life, and how we can shift out of it. Okay, what your anxious brain will do versus what your healed brain will do, and bonus, what your partner can do to help you. Okay, so I hope this video helps you. If you're new to this channel, we're always talking about self-love, relationships, how to heal ourselves from the inside out. So if you enjoy it, make sure you stick around and hit subscribe. First off, what is anxious attachment? To sum it up, when you're in a relationship, you constantly are fearing. You have a lot of fear, and you can experience these thoughts of the worst case scenario. Your brain might automatically go there. So you're anxious, you're feeling uneasy. And I want to share with you how we can just become self-aware. And self-awareness is beautiful because you might not notice your reactions. And in your relationship, you have to take a bird's eye view to become self-aware. Look at yourself, take your feelings out of it, and so that you can notice, so that you can see yourself fully. So it's never about shame, it's just about self-awareness. We want to move from feeling anxious in our relationships to a secure attachment, feeling confident in the love that you share in yourself and in your relationship, stability. You don't want to feel on edge, right? So how are we going to go from an anxious attachment style to a secure one? Well, what are some examples? How do you know if you're anxiously attached? One of the things, this is the first thing. Okay, the first example is this. Your partner does not respond to you right away. And in your mind, you might feel like it's over. Well, the relationship's over. Like, what did I do? He doesn't like me anymore. I messed this up, or he likes somebody else. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Catch yourself with these things. How do you respond? What is your internal reaction if your partner does not respond right away? If you're anxiously attached, you might start fearing. Now that sounds crazy when you say it out loud, but the reality is that I feel like so many people could be experiencing this, myself included, at times, of just feeling on edge when someone doesn't respond right away. I told you guys, you can either laugh or cry when it comes to healing, and I've found on my own journey as I've healed myself from so many things, a 10-year addiction and regaining my period, so many things, holistic healing, self-healing. I love to share it with you guys because it's possible. But you can laugh or cry when it comes to healing. So I want you to take a light heart, laugh at yourself, don't shame yourself, just see yourself. And I want you to know that you can change. You are able to feel better with a little bit of patience and work on yourself. It takes effort. Okay, so nobody should be feeling that way. If your partner doesn't respond to your message right away, do you go Do you start feeling uneasy? Does your brain jump to the worst case scenario? now, now let's say they don't respond at all. Okay, that's the second example. The first one was they don't respond right away, but the second one is they don't respond at all. How do you feel about that? What do you conclude from that? What's going through your mind if they don't respond to you? You might feel like, oh, well, they don't like me. Well, what's going on? Well, he's gonna break up with me, you know? And this can be in your subconscious. It might not be in your conscious mind, but your body is very much connected. So how do you feel? You'll know you're anxiously attached if you're feeling uneasy and unstable in your relationship. That's unhealthy for you, for your nervous system, but also for your partner, because you can project your own fears onto them. It's going to create stress in the relationship. So what can we think instead? Okay, so if they don't respond right away, or if they don't respond at all, instead of jumping to the worst case scenario, you can consider or tell your brain that you're overthinking it. That maybe they saw your message, but they're in a bad mood. Maybe they're busy. Maybe they're working out, turn their phone off, need some alone time. And so we don't have to take it personally, but more than that, we don't have to jump to doomsday. We don't have to jump to it's over and have all these fears attack our mind. Okay, so this is why healing is beautiful. What you can do as well is communicate with your partner about how you feel, and not in a way that makes it their fault, because it's actually not their fault that you feel that way. They don't have to respond right away. You know, like, I feel like it's powerful to be vulnerable. So much of healing is vulnerability with yourself, but if you're in a relationship, with your partner too. So to heal this, you can explain to your partner how you feel when they don't respond, and make sure you don't make it their fault, but you're just letting them know what goes through your mind and that you're working on it. So instead of you jumping to the worst case scenario, you are going to consider other options and take a lighter heart. Like, take it easy. You know, don't fear, trust, because trust is a huge part of a relationship. They're with you because they want to be. So this is about bringing soothing and love to yourself and not projecting onto your partner, because you don't want to make it their fault and be like, okay, well, so since you're anxiously attached, now it's their problem and they need to respond faster, or you're mad at them, or you punish them, or you're creating chaos in the relationship because of how you feel. The more mature thing we can do is to talk to them, tell them that you're discovering this about yourself so that they can reassure you. And a mature partner will say something to you like, baby, I still love you, even when I don't respond right away. Okay? And you'll know that you're healing the relationship when you feel a huge sigh of relief. Okay, now you know you're making progress. Make sure that you don't suppress your emotions, you guys, because you'll never even know your attachment style if you can't be honest with yourself. But let's say you do realize these things about you, about yourself. Like, oh, well, maybe I'm a bit anxiously attached. And remember, it's not a set identity. It's just a pattern you can experience, and there's a spectrum. So you're anxiously attached. Like, you are not rigid in a box. It's just some people experience certain fears in relationships. So to move to a more secure place, we want to realize what these things are. But whatever you do not suppress your emotions, okay? Because that's one of the points on here. I found that if you're anxiously attached, one of your hugest fears could be being too much for your partner, so you don't want to even acknowledge how you're really feeling, because you feel like, well, you know it's a problem, so you don't want to bring it into the light or bring it up because you fear that they'll abandon you. So a huge part of feeling anxiously attached is a fear of abandonment. And we want to look at these things gently, honestly. Don't push it down, because then you're not going to heal, and you're just going to create more problems for yourself and your partner. So, okay, what's another example that you might be feeling some anxious attachment in your relationship, so that you have this style in relationships? If you have this thought cross your mind and it's like fear-based, what's he doing? what is he doing? Or where are they? What is she doing right now? Like, and it's like a fear. It's not like a curiosity, like, oh, I wonder what they're doing right now. It's like, what is he doing? I haven't heard from him. Or, your mind can start catastrophizing. Your mind can start thinking crazy stuff. And we do not want to be living in a state of fear, especially when it comes to someone that you care about. It's just super harmful to your body, your mind, your spirit. It brings you down, and it tears at the relationship. It tears at your partner. It pushes them away. So if you think to yourself, what is he doing? And your mind automatically goes to something bad or negative. If you start thinking things like, he's lost interest in me, or he likes somebody else, he likes someone better than me, does he want to be with someone else? Like, all of these negative things that your mind can go to. And the list goes on and on. What are they doing right now? And the world doesn't help. Your friends might not help. But if you think this and you have a fear attached, and it seems like it just comes upon you, and it can be from trauma, it could be from past situations, it could be from all types of things, the world we live in, something you saw on your feed. You know how people try to grab your attention with rage bait? People gossip. Like, people just could be messy. But if you personally find yourself in fear of, like, what is my partner doing? Well, you might have a bit of an anxious attachment style, and we want to move into a secure attachment style. So a more healthy thought, your anxious brain will say, something's wrong. He's doing something wrong, or he's going to hurt me in some way. He's doing something bad. But then your healed brain would be like, he's existing. He's living. What is he doing? Well, it's Wednesday at 12 o'clock. He's eating lunch somewhere. He hasn't had breakfast yet, Like, I'm just saying. And so we want to, soothe yourself, remind yourself when your brain starts looping crazy things, replace them with calmer thoughts. Exactly. Take a breath, self-soothe, and make sure you're not jumping to a worst case scenario. Instead, jump to the best case scenario, because what happens when we don't check ourselves? Well, if you don't check yourself, you might send a crazy text, you might leave a voicemail. Like, that's what I'm saying. It creates unnecessary stress for both of you guys. When we talk about healing, what's something they can do? Well, your partner can just gently reassure you by letting you know that when they are not in your sight, when they are not with you, it's okay. I want you to remember that you guys are choosing to be together. It's not through force. It's just because of love or an attraction, magnetic attraction, a pull toward each other. So nobody's forcing them to be with you. You don't have to fear the worst. You can just realize that they're free. And freedom is a huge part of what real love is. When you really love somebody, you don't have to cage them in. You don't have to control them. All you have to do is love them and realize that they're a whole human being without you, but you get the chance to love them and they get the chance to love you. So we want to work on ourselves, and then we're going to be able to show up better in a relationship. Now, this next one is really common. It happens in every relationship, but how do you respond to it? Let's say your partner wants some alone time, or they want to go somewhere alone. They're taking a boys trip, or they're going on a girls trip, or, going out without you, going to visit family. I don't know, but doing something without you there. And I guarantee you, I've seen it throughout in my entire life. A lot of times the partner gets upset. They feel some type of way. They feel like they're losing them. Or where does your mind go? If your partner tells you that they need some alone time, does your mind jump to, he hates me, he's breaking up with me, I knew this was going to happen? Oh, this is rooted in the fear of abandonment. And that's why I told you guys, you can laugh or you can cry. So many of us will cry, but I want you to laugh. Laugh at yourself, laugh at your silly brain, because just because your mind tells you something does not mean that it is true. You can, in fact, change your mind, okay? Change your mind. Tell yourself a healthier thought, like alone time is healthy. And like I've shared with you guys before, personally, I need my alone time. Yes, love, companionship, doing things together, but it's okay to have alone time. It's healthy for you. So how does your mind react to that? If you tell them this, if you become vulnerable and open and communicate with them, that my mind jumps to the worst case scenario. When you want to be alone, I automatically feel like you don't like me anymore, you don't love me, you prefer to be without me, and that hurts my feelings. And I know it's not your fault, but this is how I feel. And then your partner could help you by explaining to you that, or reassuring you, because a lot of this is based in reassurance. If you're anxiously attached, you need reassurance from your partner. That's why I told you don't suppress it, because it'll just stay with you. Torturing yourself in silence, no. Your partner can reassure you by just telling you that they still love you, just want some time to breathe. And also, P.S., absence makes the heart grow fonder. Now, you're not doing this to torture each other, or they're not doing this to torture you. It's okay to have trust in a relationship, to be two separate beings that come together freely, but not through force or obligation, because that's where you lose the spark. You lose the romance. You want to be playful, flirty, even miss your partner a little bit. It's okay. So don't torture yourself in the meantime. Can you enjoy your own company? Although I feel like some things I relate to with an anxious attachment style, this is not one of them, because I value my alone time, right? But to each their own. So a couple more examples, you guys. How do you know if you're anxiously attached? What will happen? What's a good example? If you're anxiously attached, you might have a need in the relationship that's not being met, but you're afraid to voice it. Or maybe something's bothering you in the relationship, but you don't want to say anything. And so your anxious brain might feel like, well, this is going to be too much. I don't want to bother them with this. I don't want to stress them out. You'd rather be silent because you're afraid they'll leave you. And so this is deep inner work, you guys, but your healed brain can remember and remind yourself that you're in this relationship together. So how you feel matters. What you need, it matters. It's not just their needs that matter, yours matter too. And you're in it together. The both of you create the relationship. So you have to be able to express to your partner how you really feel. And it's okay if you fear abandonment, be honest with yourself, but just because you fear that doesn't mean it's true. So just remind yourself that they're with you because they love you, not because anyone's forcing them to. Which means if they wanted to leave, they wouldn't be there, but they are there with you. And that's why we don't have to listen to these fears that try to provoke us and cloud our mind. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness that can see your thoughts. And this is how we can shift out of an anxious attachment style into a more secure attachment style. Start choosing secure thoughts, but also communicate how you feel without projecting it onto your partner. Can you do it? What you focus on grows. So if you focus on love, if you focus on trust, if you focus on freedom, you can release the anxious attachment. You can start to breathe and self-soothe. I feel like that helps, but don't forget to bring up the problems or whatever the issues are in your relationship. And you know what? This could actually really improve a relationship. Maybe you need more sex in the relationship. Maybe you need more romance, playful. You want to go on more dates. You want to travel somewhere. You want to do something, right? So that's been on your mind, but you are afraid to express yourself for fear of being too much. Release that. They want to know, someone who's secure in the relationship, they realize the value they bring. This other person's lucky to have you. Oh, they wanted to know that. And you'll never know unless you open your mouth and express, right? So let's say you go ahead and express yourself. They might be happy to know that. Like, oh, really? Okay. I didn't know you felt like that. Okay, so never fear losing somebody, although it's deeply ingrained. We can heal bit by bit when we realize that we can choose love instead of fear. Don't let fear drive your life and contaminate your mind. Rise above it, release the fear, move into the vibration of love. And to really feel secure in a relationship, in my personal opinion, you have to realize that love is a frequency. It can never escape you. Either we block ourselves from love, and then that's it, because love always exists. So it's either we block ourselves or we open ourselves to love, because love is always there. So it's either somebody meets you in the vibration of love and you practice love in action with each other, or you don't. But you don't have to fear like losing love. When someone is really meant for you, you're going to find your way toward each other. You're going to come back together if you fall apart. You're going to make it right, because love is more powerful than our silly human egos and the universe, God. If you're meant to be with somebody, you're going to work it out. But I hope that this helped you on how to create a bit of a healthier relationship when we talk about having an anxious attachment style. How we can move from anxious attachment into a secure attachment. Basically realizing that if you're anxiously attached, you're constantly fearing that the relationship is going to end, and you want to move into a more stable emotional place. And you're going to do this by first working on yourself and replacing your anxious brain with a more healed mentality, mindset, thoughts, self-soothing, not pushing your fears onto your partner, but instead communicating honestly with your partner, being vulnerable, and them reassuring you, working with you. See, one of the most beautiful parts of love, and how you'll know that it's a healthy relationship for you, or that you're really in love, that it's real love, is when you expose your wounds to your partner and they do the same for you, little by little. It's not an overnight thing. But as you get to know each other deeper and you come across triggers or wounds or problems that you face in the relationship, a healthy partner for you is going to see your weak spots and tend to them. Care for those wounds gently, with love, softly. And that's how you know you found the right person, you guys. So it's okay to be wounded. In fact, everybody is wounded in one aspect or another. But we can heal and move into a better place when we choose to. And so, yeah, it's up to us to create healthy relationships. Keep working on it. If this person is worth it for you, don't push them away. And so many times, like when I was less conscious in the world, like 5-10 years ago, I used to think that life was like happening to me. Oh, there's nothing I can do. That's the way it is. Like, let's say you're anxiously attached and you're constantly fearing abandonment. So then you're reacting to that. Well, you end up pushing your partner away, and then they leave, and then you go and say, oh, I knew they were going to leave. I knew it. And so you reinforce what your thoughts are, even if they're negative. So that's why it's so important to do the healing. And you can't fake it. You have to do it for real. You deserve to. You don't have to do anything. But in this channel, I love to just illuminate the shadows, the unseen realm. What are we really dealing with here? And go layer by layer so that we can just be happier and more loving, more vibrant in our relationships. I hope this video helped you in one way or another. I'm sending you so much love, healing, power into your life. Take care of yourselves and each other. See you next time. Bye.